Hello, welcome back to Satisfactory. I am Maker Gaming. I have Lumen and a few other settings messed with right now. And I don't think it's quite right with my computer. Is that right? Anyway, thanks for watching. Last episode we did rubber and plastic. I'm gonna have to take this down. Looks trippy. Give me a second. Alright, man. So much less atmospheric. Alright, we've been going along pretty well with this plan. And that means we're finally to the copper smelter blueprint. I've had this idea for a long time. And it's time to get started on it. Similar to the factory we did over there with our cubes. Well, I guess just to keep up with what we did last episode. I added this triangle top. I'm not liking it. That will be removed. I just keep adding more and more pieces to this base up here. We're closing off each section with the poison gas. Yeah, in the last episode we did the bottom two floors. This is all of our iron. So iron plates, iron rod screws, and you come up here. And we have a logistics floor. And that's what our factory is sending out at the moment. Now we need to get the copper set up. I started in that this is basically what the 480 copper can feed in wire and copper sheets. And now we need to get a source. And that's what we've been waiting to do there. And then finally we added, mostly offline, we added belting. So now we have 5 belts coming in, 6 belts going out. And they're mostly well organized. We've got them all coming up here, into the ceiling right here, into the first floor for distribution. So yeah, that was some cool work, I think. And then I flattened this out. Maybe we could do it for storage. Don't know exactly yet. But that's where we're at, and now let's get started on copper. Alright, so I have a basic idea for this factory. That idea is modular cubes. I'm thinking 5 by 5 by 5 in this cube. So as of right now we have a 21 by 21 foundation square, and that's going to be our basis. So do I want to make the cube first or the blueprint? We're going to have the final result coming out here. Realistically, to start, we only need one 480 line, but that'll probably expand at some point, so we want to think of expansion. But designed to the 1. This is 21 foundations wide, which means it needs to be 42 tall, which is not tiny. But I'm trying to decide if I want this to be my lower or if I want it to be a little bit lower than this to start. If I did something like that, it would be inset by 2. And then when we do walls later, we could do those inset by 2. That might not make sense in how I set it, but I think that's what I want to do. So that'll be our 1 block. So 42 more. 42 might be too big. Okay, so that's 31. Geez. 41. That's huge. 40 by 40, so that's 1600 concrete per side. We're gonna quadruple the corners. That's a lot of concrete. So if we do 21, then we do 2, it's blocking that out. So 19 should be 17 per side. Alright, so that would give us 17 by 17 on the inside. You know what, I want to work on the grid. I'm thinking the easiest way to do that is a blueprint designer. Let's just drop one of those. So we have 17 by 17. 8, 16, 17. 8, 16, 17. So if we have a lane between each module and a lane on each end, we're taking 5 out of the 17. Alright, 17 minus the 6 pathways. That gives us 11 foundations to work with, divided by 5. 2 foundations and 2 tenths. We'll call it a quarter and do 2 meters. So 2 foundations, 2 meters. That's our cube. How is that for good television? Alright, so I said 16, 18. Work with some pillars. That would be 16. That's 16. We can go right on top. That'd be 17, 18. So that's our cube. Give me a second. Are we gonna be able to fit a smelter in here? Alright, cube in a cube. It's a big ass planet. Alright. I think I want to frame this out before I want to do the blueprint. And just make sure the count works every time. It's a big ass cube. You know what sucks is I want this to be coated concrete. So I'm already doing this wrong. Biggest scaffold ever. Alright. That should be one. Nope. Missing those 2. But the shape is there. Did I already say this may be too big? This may be too big. Yep. That's a big ass square. Mission accomplished. Alright, what I'm slowly thinking about this project is that I need to do a lot of it offline. We're going through a lot of concrete, right? So I just decided to make this. No reason not to have this closer by, since we're right off the bus anyways. I mean, that's the whole point of a bus. Well, this is so obnoxiously big for what it's doing. I guess it's no different than that giant thing right there. Building 480 ingots. Ugh. I'm glad I didn't start this project without the jetpack. It's gonna come in handy. Wonder how much concrete that is. Damn you, 16 square meters. It reminds me of old times. uh, that's how I used to record. I gotta try and get away from that this series. I gotta get the hover pack when the time is right, so I don't get back into my jetpack filming ways. I get so comfortable with that thing, but it's not the best for video. That's about what I imagined. It's about what I imagined a cube would look like. Oh, and when I said walls, I was thinking about that earlier, but we're not going to be able to actually use walls. So we're just going to use concrete. We're just going to use foundations, excuse me. Because walls you can't paint with the awesome vibrant concrete colors. That only works on pillars and foundations. So we're going to need to go foundations. And do we want to finish these off? We might as well finish these off right first. Alright. After that, I'm just covering the floor. And then I started on the walls. And like I said at the beginning, the walls, I want inset 2 meters from the frame. All the way up. Well, this is turning out exactly how I wanted. Awesome. I got 2 sides done, and I just thought I would share a couple of thoughts. Obviously, I waited till it's night, because I suck about that. Alright, so the thoughts I had were, we're doing 4 meters, we're doing half foundations, right? So those are 4 meters wide, and then we're doing them 2 meters inset. So that means we have 2, 8 more meters, so that's 10. We're doing the same thing over here, so that gives us a 4 meter space. That actually might look pretty cool once this is all done, just straight up. But to make that even here, using 1 meters foundations, 2 off from the bottom, we're going to need to do the same thing up here if we want them to be even. So that will be our actual floor of our factory. Which, on the top floor and the bottom floor, we're getting, what did I say, 4 meters over here? But for these two, we're getting, what even is that? 10 meters. So we could do a lot of logistics here if we want to hide them. And then we can put them up the walls. Because at first I wasn't sure if I was going to do the second layer on the inside. But 1 for symmetry of the main cube. And 2 because it gives us that little hidey hole. I think that's what we're going to do. So this is our new floor. And I'm just going to draw that out, and then I'll just finish the walls, and I'll come back. And we'll work on the blueprint and place the blueprint. And I know there's other things to do, like run logistics into and out of this cube. Nice. I'm kind of thinking of leaving this side open for a little while. I finished the outside. I did make one mistake though that I'll have to fix. Let's go this way. Every side is 2 meters in except for the front. I messed up and it's only 1 meter in, which is just infuriating because now our in-between walls is not even across this. So I probably will fix it. But not right now. I took all the scaffolding down because we're done-ish. We'll probably do this back wall, but for now I kind of like not having it here. It gives us this picturesque view. Probably good for sunlight and everything while we finish or figure out the inside. So we need a designer. I'd originally thought to have, like we talked at the beginning, 5 on a side. And I had thought about belting across each group of 5. But now that we have this space in the walls, which I didn't think know where we were going to have at first, I kind of want to do all our logistics in here. I think that's kind of cool. So now I'm thinking we face these probably out, right? So this will be the part coming out of the wall, off the wall. So I think we want something that just goes from here back into the wall. And then maybe something that comes like here down and under and into the wall. And actually let's lift it 2 meters. Just so that we have room to work underneath it. Actually, before we do that, I was also thinking a full foundation between each might be too much. So let's count that out too. I guess that's alright. We have a full 8 on this side. Full 8 between each. And then what do we have here? 6. So we just need to go 1 over. Go 7 on each side. And that's also how high off the ground it's going to be, actually. Pretty interesting stuff. How are we going to connect these to make it look like they are cradling the smelter? Might want to get rid of those. Yeah, I think we will. This is an excessive idea, but what if we add a bunch of unimportant excessive belts? Is that kind of dumb? Repeated 25 times. I just want to do more belts. Let's figure out supports though. Alright, we're going to retry that after the supports. I know that looks kind of weird, but I also kind of like it. I don't mind that. I'm kind of feeling that. Yeah, we're sticking with that. Now let's figure out the belts. 480 divided by 30 is 16. Alright. What are we thinking of that? Let's find out. And remember, I say remember, I don't even know if I explained. We're only going to do one wall today. That's going to be more than enough for our 480 line. It's kind of asymmetrical, but I still think we're good with it. I think we're going to go with it. Alright, now we need lights. Let's leave one there just in case. Alright, so it's nighttime, so I guess that's officially ready. Time to go. And I guess just because of the light, we'll pick this wall to start. No, I had always wanted this wall to start. Oh, this is the single one that we don't have the wall to figure out how we're going to do the belts. So we actually need a different wall. Front wall? Side wall. Oh, that's tough. We'll go here. That's where we started. So we need to go 7 in. And 4 up. Wait a minute. We need to go 7 up. This actually needs to be 5? We actually need to go 1 more in, right? Damn trickiness. So that would be the 7, and that would be lined up there. That's right. Now we just need to go 8 between each one. F, blueprint mode, mouse click. Line them up, have them touch. Would that be the 8 mark? 1, I think so. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're gonna do 8 between beams. Hope that works out. How close is this to dead center? Oh, look at that. Dead center. Perfect. Hopefully that leaves us 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. That's it. We just need 120 more of those. Alright, we gotta figure out the spacing, how we're gonna do that. Probably something like this. Maybe just all the way up. Maybe. Power, we're just gonna go right through the wall. In relation to these, it looks like it needs to go maybe like 2 up, 1 over. A like this back wall for utilities. I like it a lot already. It's probably going to get a little more confusing though once we have just the wall of 25, much less way down the road when we're going to attempt to fill this room up, at least the edges. I wonder if we can tag that beam. Pretty close. There'd be something to make it look like it was holding them. 1, 2 over. I might like that. We'll see. Alright, that would be all supports. Technically, we could get rid of all this if we knew where our next blocks up went, which I guess we can figure out now. Pain in the ass. Alright, so that's exactly. So we need to go exactly 8 up from there. Actually, that would be our platform for 8 up from there, but we need to go 6 up because of our base. I believe this is it. We won't know until we get all the way to the top. That should be right. Let's see how the bottom looks. I'm not going to show all this because obviously you get the point. Maybe I'll get them all down and then we'll figure out logistics. I don't think there's going to be too much movement. But we're going to see it through, obviously. Let me get some more going. Alright, I started to make the second row across and then I realized I should probably check my work. I checked it sideways, right? 8 meters between each and then 7 meters on each side. So it's the same thing going up, right? It's just cube, so 7 below, 8 on each. So we're doing a blueprint to there. I'm sorry. I kept this single block just so that I could keep the spacing. Then I drag that up. So that's the top of this design. So we go 4, 6, and then that block that the blueprint sits on makes the final 8. So yeah, we have 7 meters blueprint, 8 meters blueprint, 8 meters blueprint. So now we should do the next one at 8. Well, 2 more, and then we should have 7 at the top, and that's how we're going to verify. Then we can go across with all 25. And if I didn't mention it earlier, that's all we're doing this episode. We only need 19 for this episode. But we'll fill it up as we go in the game. When things get a lot harder in the next phase. So I'll do one more in time lapse. Delete or copy. That is an exceptional amount of work for 10 smelters. Alright, me and the Barry are at a next step. Got all 25 up. Well, the first 25 up. But like I said, this is going to do us for a while. So, what else did I do? I ran a foundation underneath, 1 meter underneath the belting of each of these. Then I used that to pull each belt close to the wall so I could get the spot where they're all going to go in, which is there, that line. Then I added 2 beams as braces that connect to our diagonals and wires. So I did that 25 times, and now we have to figure out how we are going to work the... Oh, that doesn't look as impressive anymore. Because I have a couple of those set up. Oh, I'm out of fuel. Actually, there might be some in here. Give me a second. Alright, I can't deal without fuel, so... I will be right back. So, I'm not going to be right back. I've decided I should just end the episode here. We'll cut it into two parts. All that's really left is doing the belting in the wall gap and connecting it up. So we'll just make a real short part 2 episode. Just because this went so long. Sorry about that. It shouldn't have taken me 15 minutes to get through building of a cube. I just talk way too much, like I'm doing right now. Thanks for watching. So excited after we finish this copper cube, we get to finally destroy our starter base. Thanks.